Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. And a sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Shalom. All right, so we're looking at what could possibly be a repeat of 2020. It says, China locks down patients as chikungunya illness, right? virus spreads to new countries, right? And I saw a headline a few days ago talking about how there was a big outbreak in China and a bunch of people were hospitalized, or not hospitalized, but what is that called? They did a bunch of C-19 measures again. Okay, so it's looking like, this great chaos could be by way of illness again. Okay, they already got the migrant situation. That's all they need is a pandemic to jumpstart Jacob's trouble amongst all the other things that are already happening. Okay, Lord's will, this be it. Okay, it says China has been pulling out all of the stops to contain the spread of the chikungunya illness. The country is currently doing anything it can to stop the number of illnesses rising any further, as authorities have already reported more than 10,000 cases nationwide so far. There's over 7,000 people in the city of Foshan alone who have chikungunya, while at least another 3,000 cases have been reported in a dozen other cities. Cesar Lopez Camacho, a leading jump shot researcher at the University of Oxford, said that the outbreak appears to be the largest chikungunya crisis that China has ever seen. And those are not words to be taken lightly, man. This could very well be, another illness, right? And you got, of course, here in America, you've got bird illness brewing, okay? You've got C-19 rumors of it coming back, and some were saying how they could be multiple illnesses this time, all right? Instead of just one illness emergency, they could be multiple. This time, because you remember that devil killed Bates. He said, if the last one didn't phase you, this will get your attention, roughly paraphrasing. So these devils are planning something, man. They got to mandate the MOTB very soon, man, because there ain't that much time for these devils. So they know they got to move quick. It says, what makes this event notable is that chikungunya has never been established in mainland China before, he said. This suggests that most of the population had no pre-existing immunity, making it easier for the illness to spread quickly. All right, it says authorities are amping up the efforts to stop the spread of chikungunya illness. I don't know, it looks like they're spraying some chemicals or something. It says outbreaks of the illness are more common in parts of South and Southeast Asia, as well as Africa, and reports say chikungunya has been identified in 110 countries. According to the CDC, there is currently a chikungunya travel health warning for outbreaks in the likes of Bolivia, Kenya, and Madagascar. What is China doing to stop the spread of chikungunya illness? Health officials in China are seemingly thinking along the same lines at Lopez Camacho, hence why authorities are taking forceful and decisive measures to tackle the issue. You already know what that means. All right, they are forcing that jump shot on people, man, against their will. And you got a taste of that here in America when they said, oh, you can't work this job or that job, or you can't travel to this country or that country, or even go on a plane without your jump shot card, right? It says it seems reminiscent of what we saw during the C-19 emergency. sanitation workers have been spraying insecticide across the streets in the hopes of culling mosquitoes, all right? Yeah, I don't know how sensitive the algorithm is with that word, but we got to be careful, man. These devils will jump at any opportunity to take our videos down, okay? But, yeah, man, yeah, they spraying chemicals to kill the mosquitoes, but ultimately you're going to kill the people too, all right? That's why, you know, this system we live in doesn't work. You know, Esau's fake foods, they have to be, you know, GMO to put insecticides in it, you know, because Esau wants to be such a greedy, profiting bastard. He wants to profit over health, you see? And all these nations have that spirit of Esau on them, man, because they're all competing with Esau. You know, they want to come up, you know, and you know, they want to do things the wrong way because none of these nations the Lord has dealt with, right? The Lord has only dealt with the Israelites. We're the only ones who have the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. These other nations don't know how to live, don't know how to govern properly, man. All right, that's why none of these nations are fit to rule the earth. They've all had their empires. They've risen and fallen, okay? And none of them were able to achieve immortality, man. All right? They just keep going to war with each other forever, all right? But the Lord is going to have us achieve immortality, man, through Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, okay? Which, you know, we're not going to achieve it as in, you know, doing research, but the Lord is going to give it to us as a gift. That's the second covenant, man, all right? Because the Lord is only dealing with Yasharallah, man. We're the apple of the Lord's eye, man. The Israelite man represents the Lord on this earth, okay? These other nations are nothing but brute beasts. And you can see it by the way they do their people, man, spraying chemicals and killing each other, man. You see? Let's get this precept real quick. This is Psalms 147 and verse 20. Let's get verse 19 with it. He showeth his word unto Jacob. Who's Jacob? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Israelites. Yasharallah, the Prince of Power. The sons of God, the sons of power. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. Okay? Because these nations, man, they just don't have it. Okay? And that's why their systems don't work. You end up with these plagues. People end up with all these illnesses like cancer, HIV, and now you got these weird-ass plagues going around, which could ultimately be the elites spraying some shit in the air. Okay, but this is no way to live, Yasharallah. All right? And soon Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to put an end to this shit. But for right now, we got to fight the good fight of faith in spite of all these things that are getting ready to happen. Okay? It continues. These pesky insects are responsible for spreading chikungunya by biting people. So the best way to prevent getting the illness is to protect yourself from mosquito bites, the CDC says. And I don't know if y'all remember, but a while ago, this devil Kill Gates was releasing millions of GMO mosquitoes out into the wild, or not out into the wild, out into Florida and other parts, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, who's to say that that devil doesn't have something to do with it, or that the elites don't have something to do with it, man? Because regular mosquitoes don't spread no illnesses like that, man. All right, that's, you know, because what are the odds? You had that other illness and then you have this illness. All right, this is the Lord, man. The Lord is making it happen, whether it's through the elites or through natural causes. Okay, we're getting close, man. All right, and if they're forcing people to get jump shots on a high level over there in China, all right, they're going to do it over here too. Just like last time, they're going to lock you people up. They're going to give you ultimatums. And now, especially that the economy is going to absolute shit, you could only imagine how many jump shots they're going to try to force on you people, knowing that you ain't got another choice. So it's really time to have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And, you know, it goes without saying, don't take any jump shots, man. All right, whatever they going to give you, they going to fuck you up. All right, and you know what? That's the spirit, because I just spoke with a woman at the store not too long ago. And, you know, she was telling me how, you know, because I saw her with her shoes untied. I was like, hey, your shoes are untied. And she just kind of giggled a little bit and said, yeah, no, I can't tie them because my shoulder's messed up. You know, I said, oh, you got injured? And she's like, no, well, what happened was I took the C19 jump shot and it ruined my shoulder muscles. I was like, damn, it's shoulder muscles, huh? Because, you know, it just made me think, you know, I know people that died from the jump shot, people that got heart problems from it. This person, they fucked up her muscle because the way they put it in was wrong, apparently. You know, but, you know, either way, man, this shit is unnatural. The Lord created our bodies with an immune system. You're supposed to eat proper foods. You're not supposed to be eating fast food, garbage, bullshit, diet, sodas, all that crap. That's what got people sick, man. You know? And ultimately, if the Lord wants you to get sick, you're going to get sick, man. So, you know, it's best to be on the Lord's good side. But, you know, it goes without saying, man, don't make stupid decisions. And taking a jump shot under any circumstances is a stupid decision, Yasharallah. So don't do it. Okay, now I'm not saying it's the MOTB. The MOTB, as I always say, is the brain chip and the hand chip that will be mandatory for buying and selling very soon. And they might just use this emergency, if it becomes one, they might just use it in order to mandate it. Okay, imagine, right? You know, they already got this migrant situation. Let's say it starts spreading, and then all Trump's got to say is, oh, the migrants are spreading it because, you know, they're out there in the field, you know, getting bit by mosquitoes, and they're here illegally. They're here illegally. You know how he talks, right? So everybody's got to get a chip, all the migrants first. And you know what? If you migrants agree to the chip, you can stay in America, you know? And then they're going to start. And then once the migrants got chipped up, now they're going to force you Americans to get chipped up. And or else the migrants are going to take your jobs. Who knows how this devil's going to do it? But the devil is the devil. And we can't put it past him. This devil is a strategist. So he's going to use something to mandate that in order to usher in his new world order. All right? So let's grab a precept. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. We're already seeing that. Wars and all this stuff, okay? Even some race wars is coming, all right? But you got nations fighting against nations. Of course, Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, America, Middle East, Israel. It says, and there shall be famines, right? There's famines worldwide, and pestilences, right? That's those C19s. That's those Kayunga, whatever the hell it's just called. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you know what I'm talking about. The thing that's going on in China right now that we just read about, okay? And earthquakes in diverse places, of course. We've been seeing that as well. So, hey, Kahalo Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord is giving us signs. We almost out this bitch. Soon this devil is going to mandate that MOTB. And Yahweh Shai will be right there very soon thereafter. So, I pray that lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. Giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. This is sincere shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Shalom wa, abad babal. Shalom.